Alright, welcome back guys. Today we are going to work on the login and the registration pages. So basically what we will be working on are these two pages here, the login page and the registration page. As you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. So we'll be building this. Let me go back inside Android Studio and we'll first of all add dependencies that will be necessary for this video. For that, you need to open this build.gradle.kts file, and I will first of all paste. Let me go back inside Google Chrome. So for our navigation, we're going to use this Compose Destinations library here by this guy Rafael Costa, and this library requires to add the KSP Kotlin symbol processing plugin. So I will grab this and go back inside Android Studio and paste that inside this plugin block here. So for the version, you need to check your Kotlin version, the version that you're using for your Android Studio project, and for that you need to open this build.gradle.kts file. So as per my project, I'm using the 1.8.0. So I will go back in Google Chrome. I will include also this link here in the video description. So you need to grab this here according to your Kotlin version. As you can see, the 1.0.8 is for Kotlin 1.8.0. So I'm going to instead copy this, go back in Android Studio, and I'll replace this here. So let's go back and continue setting up these Compose dependencies. We'll need to grab this. Let me open this one from the Kotlin KTS file. You need to copy this. I'm going to add this inside Android Studio along with some other dependencies that we'll need. Let me paste them so I will explain you one by one. So this is obvious. This is for navigation. So I also added this splash screen to support the splash screen API back to API 23, I think that's Android Marshmallow, and this data store for preferences, and the coin for dependency injection. I included this lifecycle runtime compose to collect flows that are aware of our composables lifecycle. So you need to add at least this version here, 2.6.1. And lastly, the Google accompanies to control the system UI inside our application. So after you add these dependencies, now you can click on this sync now. Alright, now the build is done. Next we're going to set up the theme for our application. And to not waste time, I'm going just to copy files from my demo project. I'm going to skip the video and I will find you once I copy those files and explain you what each file is doing. Now we are back, and as you can see, I've got a bunch of files here. I will put the link to my GitHub repository so that you can directly get all these code, but I'm going to explain you what I basically did here. First of all, I created a font directory inside this resources directory by clicking new and directory, give it the name font. Now, since I'm going to use custom font, I will be using Alexand for headlines and titles, and OpenSong for body and text captions. So you can download this file directly on font.google.com. I will also include the link in the video description once on this page if you want to, because you can still use Roboto. I think that's fine for Android. You can type here Alexand and click on this first Alexand family and then click on download family. So after download is completed, you can unzip that file, double click on the directory and on this static. So here you can copy the files that you'd like to use. Like in my case, I copied semi-bold, bold and medium. So once you copy those, you can go back inside Android Studio and paste them here in the for directory. Now you would need to rename all your files using lower cases and underscores, because that's what is required here inside the resources directory in Android Studio. You can't have uppercase named files. So after that, I created two packages here inside each other. First one is this common, and inside that common package I created the theming package, in which I created now a type.kt file. So here, as you can see, I'm loading those fonts, those custom fonts that I put here inside my font directory. After loading this, the rest is self-explanatory. Creating a typography here, where I'm using this like Send or Open Sans, depending on whether the text is a body, caption, title, headline, and etc. So after this type.kt file, I created a new file here, shape.kt, where following material design, I precise the small, large, and medium look of our shapes. After that, I created a new file here where for colors, as you can see, we're going to use the blue as a primary color for our social app. And after that, I renamed the file that we had here, my application theme.kt file. I renamed that to social app theme, and inside here I refactored the theme definition that we had here. Now after you rename this, you also need to change the name here. It was my application theme. Now you need to use the theme that we used here. Where is it? This one. Yeah, I think that's all I did, and now we can get started creating our login page. No, first of all, registration page. Alright, so let me first of all close this, and inside our Android package, I'll create one package here. I'll call that auth, and inside that auth package, we need to create another package. I will name that SignUp. Now inside the SignUp screen, I'll create a Kotlin file, SignUp screen. So this will be a composable, and I will add just a modifier for now. I'll create a SignUp view model. It needs to extend the view model class. Then let me quickly declare here SignUp UI state. So for now, we'll just have the text feed stuff here. So username, default empty string, email, and password. Let's declare our UI state by mutable state of SignUp UI state. Import the set and the get value. Set that to be private set. Now here we need method to update the username, email, and password. This method need an input, and then change the UI state username and set that to input. So let me copy this and paste twice. Alright, so now let's go back inside our SignUp screen. Here we need a UI state parameter. We also need callback here on username change. on email change, and on password change. Alright, so as you can see, we need here 3 text feed, and the last text feed, the password one, need an icon to toggle the visibility. So I will need also that text feed in our login screen. So since that text feed I need it to use across multiple screens, I'll create that inside this common package. But let's first create a package that I will name component. Now create our custom text feed. Composable custom text feed. Add a modifier. Alright, our text feed need a value, string value, and on value change. We also need the keyboard type, and I will set the default value to keyboard type text. We need to know if it's a password text feed, so I'll need a is password text feed, and I'll set the default value to false. Is single line is a boolean, and I will set the initial value to true because many of our text feed inside the application won't expand across multiple lines. And lastly, we need a hint for our text feed. That will be an integer because I will receive that as a string resource. Now import that. Let me close this for now. Now here we need a text feed. The value will be the value, and on value change. First of all, let's pass the modifier, fill max width, and the text style. We will use material theme.typography.body2. For the keyboard options, we'll use keyboard options.default.copy. Keyboard type, we'll set that to our keyboard type. Single line, we'll pass is single line. For the colors, pass text feed default dot text feed colors, and then we can change the background. First, let's check if the system is in dark mode. Then we will use material theme.colors.surface, else I will use gray color that I prepared inside this color.kt file. So it's kind of white, but it's not completely white. It's this color here. So after the background, we'll set the unfocused indicator color to be transparent, as well as the focused indicator color. Now after setting up our colors, we need to load 2 different images depending on whether the password is actually visible or not. So for that, I will need a composable below our custom text feed composable, and I will call that password icon. Now this composable needs 2 parameters. First of all, is password visible. If the password is currently visible, and a on password visibility toggle. So we'll first of all load the resource image. If the password is visible, then we need to load paint resource r.drawable, import r, show password icon, else we'll load the other image instead, hide password. Now we need an icon button. The on click will pass on password visibility toggle, and for the content we need an icon with painter set to our image and the content description to none. So come back inside our custom text field. We need a state here that I will call is password visible by remember mutable state false as the default value, and to get rid of that error add these to import set value and get value. Let me close this. Alright, so below these colors, inside the trailing icon, first of all check if this is a password text field. If so, we need a lambda that will emit our password icon. For the is password visible, we'll pass our state, and for the on password visibility toggle, we want to toggle the password visibility. If it's not a password text field, then we need to pass null for the trailing icon. So one more thing here is the visual transformation, and for that also we'll check if it's a password text field. If so, we'll then check if the password is currently visible. Oh, what happened? And in that case we'll pass none for the visual transformation, else we will pass the password visual transformation. If it's not a password text field, then we need also to pass here none. So it seems that we need to add one more parameter, and that is the placeholder. So I will add that right after the text style. We need a lambda for that, and inside that lambda we need a text, and we'll load a string resource hint. For the style we'll set material theme.typography.body2. It seems that we got an error here. Composable, so what happened? I don't understand. Let me remove this quickly. Right, instead add that at the bottom. Let me add the placeholder. Now it's working. Alright, so let me add the preview quickly and make sure that we didn't break anything. Empty callback for the hint. Let's see if we can get a default, no default string here. Let's just choose this for the preview. Click build. Let me close this. Okay, now I see that I need to set the shape to be rounded corner shape. So for that, I'll set the shape. We use material theme dot shapes dot medium. Now we have render issues. This is the main reason why I don't show preview during tutorials, because even for such a minor change, the preview is broken. Let's rebuild. Yeah, I think this is working now. So let's go back inside our SignUp screen. Now, as you can see, we'll align everything inside a column, and they will be separated by 16 dp. So inside here we need a column. We'll set a modifier to be modifier fill max size. We need a vertical, what am I doing here? Vertical scroll. Remember, scroll state. We set the background and the color. We'll first of all check if the system is in dark mode. I need to use material theme.colors.background, else I will use material theme.colors.surface. Let me add space here. Alright. We had a padding here. For the top, I will combine extra large plus large spacing. For the start, I'll use a large spacing and medium spacing combined. So that for the hand I will use the same thing here. And for the bottom I'll just use large spacing. Cool. Horizontal alignment on center horizontally, and for the vertical arrangement spaced by large spacing. Now here we need custom text feed, and for the first we'll set value to be username, on value change to be on username change, and the hint for that I'll create a new string resource. Let's first import R, so I will name this username hint. Let me create that quickly. Just name. Do we need anything else here? I don't think so. Let's call one more time custom text feed. For the value we'll pass use email, and on email change for the hint we use email hint. Like so. Let me also create this. Now here we need to set a keyboard to keyboard type.email. We need a custom text feed for our password. On password change, and for the hint, password hint. Password. Now here we'll set also the keyboard. Now it will use keyboard type.password, and each password text feed will set the value to true. Now below these three text feed we need a button. Let's import that. On click, empty for now. We'll set a modifier, fill max width, and the height we use 52 dp. Let's import dp, or let me just create a constant for this. I will cut that. Now inside our dimension.kt, so I will name this button height. Now go back inside our SignUp screen. I'll call button height. For the elevation, I'll call button default dot elevation. Then set the default elevation to be 0 dp. For the shape, I will use material_theme.shape.medium. And for the content, I need a text string resource r.string.signup button hint, and I'll create that. So the value will be create account, like so. Now let me close this. Yeah, I think that's all for our SignUp screen. Let's quickly add a preview. SignUp screen preview. Social app team. SignUp screen. For the UI state, create a new UI state. Just pass empty lambda here. Let's see that. Alright, so we got a preview here. Let me unzoom this. Yeah, it's pretty much what we wanted to. So let me quickly go over the login screen. So as you can see here, they are pretty much similar. So I will go quickly with this to not waste time. Alright, so as you can see, the login page is done. I just created a login view model the same way we created a SignUp view model, and the login screen also uses pretty much the same, has the same structure as the SignUp screen. It just doesn't have the username, text feed, and I also changed the button label here to be login instead of create account. Now next step is to create, let me close this. Now inside this Android, I'll create one more package here, and that will be our home. Now inside this home, I'll create home screen. So that will be a composable home screen. For now, I will just add a box here with a text. Modifier field max size, and inside I will add a text home screen. Yeah, just like so. Let me close this. Next, we need to set up the navigation. So I will close all of these. Alright guys, now to set up the navigation, we first need to add one more thing that I forgot to mention during the Compose Destinations library setup. And if I go back inside Chrome, if we scroll a little bit, you'll see that we need to add this block of code here for the folder that our code will be generated. We need to add this inside our build.gradle.kts file at the module level. Now, as you can see, this depends on your Android Gradle plugin version, and check if you had a version older or earlier to this version here. And to check that, you need to, let me go back inside Android Studio and close this. Now, click on this build.gradle.kts file and see your AGP version, and depending on that, you can either copy this block of code or this one here for version older to this 7.4.0. Now I'll go back inside Android Studio. Now you need to open this build.gradle.kts file at the module level, and inside this Android block is where you need to paste the code that you copied. After you paste, you can now click sync. Great, the sync is done. Let me close this. Now the way this library works is that you add annotations to your composables, and the library will generate all the needed class and also set up the navigation graph. So for example, I have this login screen composable here. I could add this annotation, destination. Now from this here, as you can see, adding this destination will tell the library that this is a destination inside our application. Now I'm not going to add a destination on this file here. So for that, I will rather create an initializer composable. I'll create a new Kotlin file class and I will name that login, like for our login destination, and create a composable that I will name a login as well. And this composable needs the navigator from Rafael Costa. Yeah, this one, destinations navigator here. So this is kind of navigation nav controller, the replacement for nav controller. This will allow us navigate inside our application and passing in the destinations that will be generated for all the composable that we will annotate with a destination, like I'm doing here for the login. Now here I will initialize my view model, login view model, coin view model, and then call a login screen. Now I'll pass the state using viewModel.UI state. For the on email change, I'll use viewModel.update email, and for the password change, I'll use viewModel.update password. Now to use this Kotlin syntax here, you need to make sure that this method here has the same signature as your viewModel method. There you can use this. Now I'll do the same for this SignUp screen. So I'll create a SignUp. Now you need to add one destination as your starting destination. That's why for this SignUp here, I had the start destination to true, because normally inside our application we should have the start destination for our home screen. But since we don't have any user token to check whether the user has been authenticated or not, we just need to check that our screen actually works. We'll do the logic for starting on home screen, and then if the token is not valid, we'll jump to the login or sign up screen after we do the backend authentication. So let me close that. So here I will initialize the view model. Coin view model and call the sign up screen. Pass the UI state. Alright, so like so. Now I'll create a composable that will represent the entry point. So I'll create an entry point to our application inside this Android package directly. So I'll call that social app. It is a composable, and I will also call that social app. First, we need our navigation nav host controller. Oh, what happened? Remember nav host controller. Remove that. All right, so let me go back. For the login destination to be generated, we need to rebuild our project. That way the library will generate all the necessary class. So for that, you need to go in here in the menu and click on build and rebuild project. Alright, so the build is done. So let me quickly call the destinations nav host, this one from the library, and for nav graph we'll pass just nav graphs, this one that has been generated and root. And for let's quickly also pass the nav controller. For the nav controller, what happened? For the nav controller, we pass our nav host controller. So we need to call this composable inside our main activity. So here we call social app, like so. Now let me quickly add my device so that we can run and test. I'll change this to Android app. There we go, I have my device here. Now let's run the app and test. There we go, we have an error here. Alright, so what does this say? Resolve reference, I don't understand. I mean this class, okay, we need to import that. Okay, so let's rerun the app. Then we have a crash. Okay, yes, I know where this crash is coming from. It's because we didn't create the dependency injection. We didn't set up the dependency injection, sorry. So for that, I'll create a new package here quickly that I will name di and create an app module for our application. It will be a Kotlin file, so I will declare app module here and call module from coin, then view model, because I need to inject the two view models here. Login view model, the same for our SignUp view model. Oops, like so. I think we don't need to inject any more class. Yeah, I think that's all we need for now. So I need to create also an application class. I'll do that quickly. Kotlin class, and I'll call that social application. It will be a class that extends application from Android. And then on the onCreate method, we need to call start coin. Then set up our modules. So we will use our app module. Okay, so for now, let's rerun the app. Oh, what have I done here? We need to add that inside our manifest. Sorry, add this. Let me quickly stop the building here. So we need to add that here inside our manifest. Name social application. Okay, that now it should work. Let's now rerun the app. There we go. Our sign up screen is working. Let me try to type something here. The email, as you can see now, it's an email keyboard type. You can see that @ added here. When you go, for example, to this password, you can see that the keyboard has been updated, and we have our password visual transformation. We can click on this to show or hide the password. Yeah, I think that's working. Now, to quickly test the login page, let me set a click for this button, and that will navigate to the login quickly. I will close this, close everything. So I'll go inside inside the sign up screen here. Let me quickly add a on navigate to login. And I will call this inside our button click, inside the on click of our button. So we call on navigate to login, like so. Yeah, we need also for the preview. Just pass an empty lambda. Now we need to go back inside our sign up screen. As you can see, we have an error here. Now we need to handle the on navigate to login. So here you will call navigator.navigate and call the login destination class that has been generated by the library. That's how you can navigate between your composables. Now let's quickly rerun the app. Alright, now if we click on this, now we navigated to our login screen. Yeah, I think it's working. We can go back and forth between login and destination page. Let me close this. Alright, so I think we managed to create our login and sign up pages. Now next I needed to create the app bar for our login and sign up pages, but I think the video is too long and we'll stop here for now. We'll do that in the upcoming videos. So for the next video, we'll be on the backend and set up Ktor and PostgreSQL, work on the login and sign up. Then we'll come back in Android Studio for the video after that and make sure that Android, the client and the backend actually communicate without any problem. So I'll stop the video here for now. But before that, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's a way for us to know that you actually love the content that we are providing, and also like and share the video. That will be much appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.